Hi friends, and welcome back. In today's video, we have really exciting kitchen updates. We have some major components going into the kitchen today that are going to take it from just an empty box of a room to our new kitchen. So I want to firstly thank RTA Cabinet Store for sponsoring today's video. We've had such a great experience with them. Their products are wonderful quality, and we are going to tell you a little bit more about them as we put these cabinets together. Exciting day today. We've got our RTA Cabinet Store order in a couple days ago, and we get to start actually assembling the cabinets today. So almost all of our order came in. We are missing one cabinet. Unfortunately, it is a crucial cabinet. We won't be able to get countertops even templated or obviously installed until we get that cabinet. So that's kind of the only hang up we've had in the process, but they shipped out really quickly. I want to say the order was put through on a Friday, and by the following Thursday, we had all but one cabinet. So the other cabinet they said is going to be in stock here in hopefully like 3 weeks. It's back ordered right now. So my cabinet designer was so sweet when I reached out to her. She said she's going to keep a close eye on it and let me know what the ETA on that's going to be, and kind of keep me updated on the situation. So fingers crossed it'll actually come a little bit quicker. Maybe they're just like guesstimating it a little further out. But otherwise, so far it's been a really pretty smooth process for us to get these cabinets in. And the benefit of using RTA cabinets is that they're a little easier on the pocketbook because you are assembling them yourself. So we're gonna show you kind of the process from start to finish of assembling some cabinets today. So let's get started. In order to assemble these cabinets, there are a couple of things that you need to have on hand. You'll need a pneumatic narrow crown stapler, some wood glue, and a drill. There was a bit of a learning curve with the first couple of cabinets that we put together. We were taking our time to make sure we were doing everything properly, and we definitely surpassed the estimated assembly time, but once we had a good feel for it, things began to move along a lot quicker. So they also have this app that walks you through step by step. It's interactive, so you can move the image around to see all of the different views so you know exactly what you need to be doing, which we found to be incredibly helpful. Once we had the process down, we were spending about 45 minutes per cabinet to get them put together. Now, the ones with drawers do require additional assembly, so those ones maybe took us an hour, but overall, this is an incredibly DIY friendly project. If you have some basic knowledge of how to use power tools or the willingness to learn, you could absolutely take this on. I'm going to show you how to put together a cabinet from start to finish. That way, if you're looking at using RTA Cabinet Store for your project, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. We chose to demonstrate putting a smaller cabinet together. This has kind of just the basic outline of how you're going to put together each of the boxes, adding both of the sides on, the tops and the bottoms, and if you have drawers, there's some additional assembly there. The drawers are dovetail jointed, so super sturdy. They look really nice. All of them are made out of hardwood and plywood, so you have high quality materials. We were very impressed and very pleased with our new cabinets. So as I mentioned earlier, there was one cabinet that was on back order for a few weeks. We did receive that cabinet in the estimated time, and we did actually have 2 cabinets come with slight damage to them. We sent a photo and made our claim for the damaged cabinets, and they were so incredibly kind and rectified the situation immediately, no questions asked, sent out the new cabinets. We had them within a few days. So I think it's important to keep realistic expectations with something like this, where we were having, 16 really heavy big cabinets being shipped to us, and knowing that in transport damages can happen. So I think what's more important is how they rectify the situation, and we were really pleased with the customer service that we received. So if you are interested in using RTA Cabinet Store for your project, I will leave a link down below in the description box to check that out, along with a code for 2 free samples. So while we were waiting for that cabinet that was on back order, we decided to tackle some other projects in the kitchen that needed to be done, and one of those was to retrim out around the doors. So if you remember, we pulled these doors off, we repaired them, primed them, and were, really committed to keeping the original doors in here, but the trim was just not in as good of condition, and we also saw a lot more of that lead paint on the trim, so we decided it would be better just to replace it. We modeled it after the original trim all throughout the house so that it would feel cohesive and look like it had always been here. So because we are DIYers and not professionals, I'm not going to give you a run through of cabinet installation. However, we did a lot of research, and there were some things that we found to be really helpful. One of them being using a piece of wood to set your uppers on as you're installing them. It just really helped to kind of take some of that weight off and make the installation process much easier. We're pretty well versed in the DIY space. We've done a variety of projects between this house and our first home, but this was our first time assembling and installing cabinets, so it was all new to us. One of the things that we made sure to just be super meticulous about was taking the time to make sure everything was measured out perfectly, that we had the center marked exactly where it was, and marking all of the studs prior to installing. Another thing that was super helpful was Luke found this technique called a shim rail, and essentially created a nice level surface prior to putting the cabinets in so that you're not shimming the cabinets individually. This worked really well for our project because we're going to install tile, so we needed to lift our cabinets up a bit. If you're installing directly on the floors, like if you've got hardwood, this may not work for you, but if it is an option, I highly recommend doing this. I think this made installation so much easier. weekend 19 was spent prepping for countertops. The countertop company was coming out that following Monday to template, and if you don't have it good and ready to go, they will charge you if they have to come back out. So we wanted to make sure everything was complete with the cabinets before they came out. So that meant also just getting these filler pieces in place. I think it also is probably just easier to do when you don't have a countertop on it. So these, help to fill the gaps on the sides, and Luke found this great technique to help us get an exact outline of where to rip the boards down, especially because walls are not all straight. And so with this technique, he got an exact cut that he needed to make to the boards to fit them in. It was a tight squeeze, but they fit in there great. And then he screwed them into the sides, and we also decided to go ahead and do some painting before the countertops came in.
We're going to do this easy. So hard workers keep together.
That's right. So we took the cabinet door sample into the paint store, and shockingly, it was almost an exact match for Sherwin-Williams Alabaster, which is the color we have throughout the entire house. So that made it really easy, and it's going to blend seamlessly with the other spaces in the house, which we love. So we ended up getting it in two different finishes. We did a satin and we did a semi-gloss paint made for doors and trim, and that way it's super easy to wipe down, especially being in a kitchen. And then we got to painting. So I know it's looking a lot like a white box right now. It's kind of been bothering me, but I keep reminding myself, once we have the wood accents in here and the decor, we're really going to be able to warm it up and give it that contrast that it needs. Plus we're going to do black and white checkered floor, which is going to add a lot of interest. So I'm just reminding myself to trust the process and trust the vision. It will all come together in the end. We have countertops. I cannot tell you how exciting it is to have countertops. This, by far the most exciting day. Also stressful. We were very stressed out this morning because, well, I was. Luke was fine. But when the countertop people got here, they were trying to get this slab in at the back. It's like one big slab. They were trying to get it in place, and they couldn't get it to fit because the trim on both of the doors on the sides here was in the way. They could not slide it in. So I had to panic, call Luke, and I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to come home and take the trim off of these doors. We also had to remove a light switch for them to get them in, but they are beautiful. I am so incredibly happy with the choice that we made. Now thinking about the other one that we were like considering, I'm like, I'm so glad we didn't do that. Beautiful, but just not, wouldn't be giving the look and the feel that this one gives. It's just looks so high-end and so beautiful. Okay, so here's a closer look at the countertops. We decided to go with the OG edge. Very happy that we did that. I think it just adds a little extra elegance to it. So for the sink, we decided to go with a workstation sink. So it's got a ledge on the front and the back and then accessories that can sit on it. So this is the drying rack. It also came with a strainer and a cutting board, so that's really nice. We ended up just choosing to go with their gold finish because we knew we were going to be doing brass for the faucet and then also for our hardware. And this was kind of the closest we could get. The faucet is from Etsy, and this is unlacquered brass. So it's like a handmade solid unlacquered brass, really pretty. The thing about unlacquered brass is it will patina over time. So it'll kind of have that old world look about it, which I love. We did also get a sprayer. We just haven't set it over here yet. And then, like I said, we're gonna be doing unlacquered brass for our hardware as well. So we're gonna be doing kind of a mix of hardware. But the nice thing is with unlacquered brass, you can order from multiple different places and it's going to look the same. You don't have to worry so much about it not matching in color. And like I said, it will also change a little bit over time. So I think it's a really nice addition to an old home's kitchen. We still have quite the to-do list. We need to get the cabinets. We've got some counter sitting cabinets that are going to go on this stove wall. We've got to get those assembled. We have the pantry that needs to be assembled and move the refrigerator back in here. We have all of the crown molding and all of the baseboards that we need to put in here. What else? We've got our hood vent and then the custom hood vent cover that we're going to be doing. Trimming out this window behind me. It's very clearly an eyesore. What else? Flooring. That's a big one. We need to install our light fixtures, which we will do after we install the pantry. So lots of finishing touches that we need to do. Oh, the beadboard. We also have to do beadboard. We're doing that as a backsplash. We still really want to replace this range. That's high on our list. Like, we're definitely going to do that. We were going to panel the dishwasher. Like, we were going to create our own front for it. I don't know if we're going to be able to because it's like flush with the cabinets. There's no room to push it back. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. It might just have to be what it is for now, which is fine. We can always upgrade these things later. The big things that we really wanted to do are updated, and like some of those other things can come later. So we have the plumber coming out tomorrow. He's gonna hook up our sink. We're gonna have running water again, have a sink. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, it's all coming together, and I think today, like getting the countertops in, well, for one, I think we both feel very much like we did it. Like, if for some reason we couldn't do any more, which obviously we're gonna finish it, but if for some reason we couldn't do any more than what we did, we have a functional kitchen. We took it from one layout to another, and it's a huge accomplishment. So I feel very proud in this moment. So it'll probably be a little while before you get another kitchen update, but we should be really close to the end by that time. I think there will probably only be like maybe 2 more updates, probably kind of the finishing touches and then the reveal. And in the meantime, I have to go finish decorating for Halloween. I have so much to do. So I'm gonna go do that, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.